Hello, YouTube. Today we will doing another podcast episode. This is part one of two. All right. So you want to tell your
Uh,
story?
yeah.
Alright.
So I was out one night and I was walking my dog Jax,
Mhm.
and he's a really territorial dog. Like he doesn't like people. He literally tried to kill my friend Nicholas
Mhm.
one time when I let him over, and the only reason that he didn't die was because he pulled his throat away from Jax, so he only nipped his like chest or something.
Uh huh.
Yeah, he has a permanent scar there now,
Mhm.
and so we just lock him in the kennel every time we have visitors and stuff. But one time, dead of night, I was walking back up to the house from the end of the street, and I heard something rustling in the grass in the yard. So I looked, and then I turned to my right, and all of a sudden there was this fucking lady there.
Mhm.
Like, like I don't know where she came from. I don't think she lived on the street because while I was watching her walk away after the thing happened,
Mhm.
um, she just kept walking down the street. Like I don't know where the fuck she came from. And
Mhm.
then so why she started walking down the street because she was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I don't even know what she was apologizing about. But then
Mhm.
she like let the dog sniff her, and then I guess she was afraid of dogs
Uh huh.
because he barked at her once, didn't bark anymore, and she just pulled her arms to her chest and started speed walking away.
Mhm.
And then I said, "I'm sorry," and she didn't answer. And then she was like farther down the road, and I said, "I'm sorry." She's like, "It's okay."
Mhm.
I just do not
Maybe she
know
was
where
trying to
that
rob
lady
you.
came from.
Maybe she was trying to rob you. Let's see if I have any stories. Did I ever tell you the time of how I like gained my fear of lightning? Violet. Violet.
Ross, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right, now I can hear you. Yeah.
I said, did I ever tell you about the time how I gained my fear of lightning?
I don't know. Tell me.
Alright, so this was back when I was in third grade when I used to live in Houston. And I
Mhm.
remember it was like storming a lot, so where I used to live in these apartments, the bus would pick us up, but it was out in the open, so all the parents and kids had to go like underneath stuff, right? And so
Mhm.
I remember it started thundering, so I just thought, oh, maybe my mom wouldn't let me take us, but we still went to the thing. Well, it got to the point where we could see lightning, and one of the lightning hit the side of this like box on the pole things, and it churned green, dude. The lightning was green, and so
I
what's it go?
wonder what causes that.
Yeah, so do I, but back then I was terrified of that, and I did not want to go to school. My mom still made me, but I like during the whole day I was just looking at the sky, just thinking it's gonna happen again, and that's how I got my
Yeah, I'd
fear.
really like to know what causes that because you know how like green fire
Mhm.
is it it's caused by ink,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I wonder what causes green lightning.
It had to do some. It had to do something with the electricity, cause like I don't know. It hit like a breaker box or something.
Yeah, it must have been. What's like the like kind of like my experiences with the lady? What's like the weirdest experience of someone just popping out of nowhere that you've ever had?
Yeah. I think she was trying to rob you.
Maybe. What's your weirdest experience with something along the lines like that?
How I cut off my pinky.
You
So
oh,
I still have my pinky, but the way I
well, that's
remember
good.
I remember. So I was like in like I was young, but I don't remember how young. I accidentally made four levers. But I remember I was in like this like classroom, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I went to the bathroom. But the thing is, it wasn't like, oh, you'd go outside. The bathroom was in the classroom. And so yeah, I went in there minding my own business, but when I walked out, somehow my pinky got caught on the door, not the part where like the little knob is, but the door where the latches are. Or, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it got that, and at first I didn't feel it, but it didn't hurt. It felt uncomfortable. So I kept on asking for the teacher to come help me. No one apparently heard me, so, that happened. So then, yeah, I started yelling for help and stuff, and they take me to the nurse. I look at my finger. It's still hanging off. It didn't fall off
Oh,
completely, but the skin was still attached to it. But I looked inside, and like, I didn't see no bone or anything, and it wasn't bleeding. I just saw red. And I thought that's weird. So then I go to the doctor and stuff, and they stitched me up, and like my finger's fine and stuff. I can still feel stuff, even though technically got cut clean off. But like I can still see the little sewing thing, the little like sew they used to stitch up my finger.
um, I actually got 5 stitches in my head
Why?
for an absolutely stupid reason.
What did you do?
So basically, it was like 2017. I'm being attacked by an invisible spider. I
Uh,
was really young. Well, I was probably around like I don't know how old I was.
2017. Okay, it's
I'm
2020. So what's 3 minus 16? 13.
13.
There you go.
There's a spider jockey behind that.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, she's like, "You wanna go outside and play hide and seek?" Play no, no, no. She was like, "Let's play tag," and it was
Hmm.
like midnight, right?
Who's the person? You never clarified
An old friend. Let's call her Claire.
that. Claire.
But yeah, she was. I was like, "What are we kids?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Fair enough."
Dang.
So
Dang.
we're out here playing extreme tag. She goes behind this area, and then I go under a wire to reach her, and I tag her. And I go back that
Oh
same way, and I'm
no!
looking at her.
Oh God!
No,
Just
no, no. I'm looking at her, and then my exact thought process was like, "Huh? Isn't there a what?" And before I could finish that sentence, the wire clotheslined me. It like made a gash in my armpit where it
ah.
clotheslined me, or like around my chest area.
Oh God, no.
And yeah, and so I had a hat on, like it was backwards and stuff because I'm edgy and cool, and
Uh,
so
just thinking
I
about
like
that. God.
I slammed my head into a rock apparently, but I didn't realize it. So like I was winded, and I got up, and I was like, fuck. I was like, Lindsay. Oh, nobody heard that. So
What?
she was like laughing at me, and I
Okay.
started laughing too, cause haha, funny joke.
Yeah.
And like I felt my head was kind of numb, so I like pulled my hat up while she was still laughing, and I like touched the numb spot, and I looked at my finger, and there was like blood dripping down my fingers, and then I said, "Hey, yo, Claire, does this look bad?" And I've never seen her so in distraught in my life. Like just a huge gash in my head, and she was like, oh my god, we need to get you inside. Come on. We're on like the side of the porch that doesn't have the stairs. So she
Yeah.
jumps up and runs in the house, and I'm just still standing there like, oh, okay, I should go in. So I walk all the way around the porch, go up the stairs, and then I
Uh-huh.
walk in, and then her mom looks at me. She's like, "Hey, sweetie, what do you need?" And I'm just standing there like, yeah, like pointing to my forehead, and then realization sets in, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And I was just there like, "I'm fine." But
Dude.
yeah, that I went to the ER and got 5 stitches,
Dude, I bet
and
you
so
never
that was
been to
pretty
the
good.
ER. I mean, I broke my arm. Oh, oh God, no, I remember this one. So I was like it was a long time ago, but I remember I was playing like by myself, just using my imagination. But I was little, and I was on I was on my uncle's like his friend's truck, like the hood of it, or the back of it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was on the back of it, and I was playing around, being dumb and stuff. And then I don't know how, but I started walking backwards, and then I just feel myself do a flip while falling out of it, and I landed on my arm. And like it
Jeez.
was just not like for you, it was just numb for me, but I could clearly tell something wasn't right. So I go up to my uncle, I go, "Hey, I think I broke my arm." All casual.
What did he say?
He goes, "Let me see." And then he just kept on touching my arm going, "Does that hurt?" And I just kept on saying, "Yeah." So yeah, I went to the doctor and they let me choose what color cast I wanted. So me being big brain, I chose orange because that was my favorite color at the time.
Oh,
Huh,
I've never
you want to
really
know the dumb
had.
reasoning behind why I like orange as my favorite color?
Yeah, why?
It's also a fruit, and I like oranges.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
I'm not even kidding. That's the whole reason why I like that color, why I like the color orange.
Um, okay, so I've never really had like a broken bone, so I've never really gotten to experience that.
See, it's like you tell something like at first it might hurt, but like you can tell something's wrong, but like if you try moving your hand or whatever you break, like it might not like at first it might hurt a bit, but then like it might not. Like for me it didn't, but like I could just tell I sensed something wasn't right.
Um,
Yeah. I remember afterwards they used this saw thing to open up my hand to open up my cast, and I was always scared that they were gonna cut off my hand whenever they did it.
um, dude, people are always like, hey, sign my cast, and like, hey, can I sign your cast? But I've never gotten to experience that.
It's kind of, if they ask you to sign it, that's just I don't know why. I remember back then if you broke your arm, like you were like the popular kid for like the whole time you had your cast.
For like a whole day.
Yeah. And I remember whenever I had it, everyone just asked me what had happened, so I just told them the story and they were going, "Oh, cool." And then we went to go play with Legos.
Oh,
We went to go play with Legos, so
oh,
oh no, it was still a fun time. Dude, I remember like in elementary school, if you were the fastest kid, every girl wanted to date you. I remember that.
really?
Yeah, in my school, if you were the fastest kid, you got all the people. Me, it's like I remember if you were the second fastest, like it was basically the same leg. Like as long as you were fast, you basically got any chick you wanted.
I feel like that was a thing in my school, but I just can't recall it. Because it's just so stupid to
No,
power tubo.
Hamilton.
Yeah, Skeleton dropped it.
Oh,
I
cool.
was so
Dibs.
excited.
It's mine.
No,
Microdibs. Hey,
it's
it's not
ours.
your bow. It's
It's
ours.
our bow.
Once again, I must clarify that we are American, and this is only a joke. You know why I'm doing this, though, right?
Yeah, for floor.
Alright.
I think the outside of the house looks really nice. I don't think I want to get rid of the oak logs.
Oh, I was gonna change some of the stuff into stone. Yeah,
I've never really, I haven't like in a really long time, probably since Pocket Edition days,
dude, I remember
used
Pocket Edition.
stone for anything. Because
Dude,
like I built a mansion, or like as best as I could build a mansion that time
mhm,
out of stone. It was basically just one big block with some nice windows.
yeah. Yeah, stop mining. I need to get more darker. Well, I don't know. Do you think this is a good place to end part one of the podcast or the episode?
I mean, you have any more painful stories?
Nah, but we can tell the rest with Jeremiah if in case I remember any. All right, this was part one of the podcast, episode 4, I think. All right.